video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Be careful down in the comment section of the videos. A lot of spam, a lot of scammers. I will never ask you to contact me by WhatsApp or Telegram. I also do not invest money for my subscribers. So please be careful. Don't get yourself scammed. Guys, if you want to follow me when I'm not on the airwaves of YouTube, do me a big favor. Get down in the description box. Click on that Richard Fain Millionaire Mentor Instagram link and give me a follow. And then send me a DM to let me know you're rocking with me. I really would appreciate that. Also, guys, do me a big favor. Check out my new website, www.richardfain.net. Second link down in the description box. Go check out the new website. Over 250,000 of you guys have already checked it out. At least 1,000 of you guys have already made an investment in yourself and purchased one of my fantastic digital products. These digital products are going to help you collapse time frames and get you to your pot of gold ASAP. They are there to help you collapse time frames and get you to that pot of gold. So take advantage of that, guys. Like I said, second link down in the description box, www.richardfain.net. Now, while you're there, consider joining the Wealth Builders Mentorship Club, fastest growing financial community on Patreon. Consider joining, guys. We already have over 850 wealth builders every day helping one another get to that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. If you want to be a part of that, do me a big favor. Go to my website, www.richardfain.net, and hit that membership button. Hit that join button. Become part of the fastest growing financial community on Patreon. Let us help you get to your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Now, none of us are experts over there. None of us are financial advisors over there. We certainly don't act like we are. But what we are is a group of people headed in the same direction, which is financial freedom. And that's important to our journey, that we can have others there to help us and encourage us. Because, hey, just like all of us, we need a little encouragement. We need a little motivation sometimes. That's just being human, guys. And I got 850 people on this financial community platform that I'm proud of. All of them are headed in the same direction, and that is wealth. They are wealth builders. If you want to join us, get yourself over there, guys. Get yourself over there and become a wealth builder today. Don't delay. Act today. Moo. That's my self-directed brokerage app that I'm going to be using over the next 10 years to 6x my net worth. That's right. I got a pretty aggressive goal, guys. Pretty aggressive financial goal, and I need a pretty aggressive world-class brokerage app to help me do that. And in my opinion, that would be Moo. I think it's the best self-directed brokerage app on the market. Get down in the description box, first link. If you want to get yourself up to 20 free stocks, hey, don't miss this opportunity to get those 20 free stocks, guys, right? How do you get to 20 free stocks? Well, let me walk you through how it works. Once you open the Moo brokerage account and you put at least $100 in there initially, they're going to give you 8 free stocks. When you open your Moo brokerage account and you put $1,000 in there initially, they're going to give you 20 free stocks. Can't beat that, guys. They're going to give you up to 20 free stocks for you just funding your brokerage account. Now, what do you do with that money once you fund it, right? You're already getting the stocks for free, so you're not paying for stocks. You get those for free. But then you're going to take that $100 or you're going to take that $1,000 and you're going to do what I'm going to be talking about today. How to go from zero to $1 million using the Nvidia stock. And again, guys, I'm not your financial advisor, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm telling you what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to use the Nvidia stock to create multi-million dollar win for myself and my family. I'm not telling you need to do this. I'm telling you what I'm getting ready to do. That's what my YouTube channel is about, is sharing with you guys my game plan. Now, whatever your game plan is, perfect. You do whatever you need to do. My game plan is to use this Nvidia stock the way I'm going to show you today. I'm going to use this stock. I'm going to buy this stock at one price, and this stock going to go up to another price, and it's going to create 8 figures for me. 8. Yeah, that's my game plan, right? Don't mean that's your game plan. I'm not telling you that's what you need to do. You can just sit here and be entertained while I tell you what I'm gonna do. And I turn on the live chat so that everybody who wants to stop by and make a comment, go right ahead. I got some really good advice from my people over in my Wealth Builders Club. They know what's going on with me. They said, Richard, hey, turn it loose. Let everybody that want to make a comment, let them make a comment. We know who you are. We ain't worried about that. We don't even pay no attention to that. So I said to myself, you know something? I'm going to take the advice of my wealth builders. My wealth builders over in the private mentorship club said, turn it loose. So I turned it loose this morning. So everybody and anybody can make a comment and I'm going to be okay with it. But here's what I'm here to tell you. If you want a self-directed brokerage app to put you in a position to be able to start building wealth, guys, get down to that description box and click on that Moomoo link. Open up that Moomoo account today. That's what I'm going to be using to get 8 figures out of the Nvidia stock. Me, personally, not you, me. This is what Richard's going to be doing. I'm not recommending you do what I'm doing because, see, I'm different. I'm built different. So I can take on the pressure. I can take on buying 11,000 shares of Nvidia stock and sleep at night and not have to worry about going to zero. See, I'm built differently. So everybody ain't built like me, right? So I'm not talking to folks about you do this. I'm telling you what I'm doing so that you have an idea of the guy you're watching on YouTube, what he's about to undertake. Okay? Is that fair? Cool. Now, do me a big favor. Like I said, get down and click on that Moomoo link if you want to take advantage of those 20 free stocks. For those of you 18 to 80 who don't know how to use a self-directed brokerage app, you don't know how to use it. You're not familiar with it. You're brand new at this. Maybe you want to go get an ETF or something, and like an S&P 500 ETF, and build your wealth slowly over the next 5 years, 10 years, and you just want a good self-directed brokerage app to be able to buy the S&P 500. Maybe you want to buy the total stock market. Maybe you want to buy a sector ETF. Maybe you like the healthcare sector. Maybe you like the tech sector. You don't want to buy no individual stocks. All you want to do is get you some big boy blue chip ETFs. The Moomoo app is perfect for that. Plus, you got fractional share trading. So every dollar that you got to invest with fractional share trading, you can invest it. You also get DRIP, which is dividend reinvestment program. They can automate that for you on the Moomoo app. You also can get automatic investing. They can automate that too on the Moomoo app for you. All of these things, guys, these features, you can get at your fingertips using the Moomoo app. But here's the thing. You got to get yourself signed up. And then you got to send me an email and say, hey, Richard, I signed up for Moomoo, deposited my $100, deposited my $1,000. Okay, I know I'm going to get these free stocks, but I really want to learn how to use the app so I can start buying ETFs. And some of you may want to buy individual stocks. You can do that on the Moomoo app as well. You ain't got to do what I do. Because what I do, like I said, I'm built different. So I'm going to do some stuff that people may not want to do. See, I'm an aggressive guy. When it's time to build this wealth, I go get it. I don't got no excuses. I don't hold back. I don't listen to nobody else. I listen to me and God. That's it. And then I go make my investments. Been doing it for 30 years. So I'm comfortable with my game plan. I don't need you to try to work my game plan. What you need to do is figure out what's right for you and use the Moomoo Brokerage app to help you accomplish that. Okay? But I will send you tutorial videos. If you send me an email through my website, www.richardfain.net, if you send me an email and say, hey, Richard, I opened my Moomoo account, I funded it, could you send me the tutorial videos so I can learn how to use the app? Boom. I'll go ahead and do that for you ASAP, Rocky. That way you can learn how to use the app and then start taking your money and multiplying it. Okay, I'll do that for you. So please get down in the description box, click on the Moo link, get yourself started today. Don't delay, get started today. Limited time, guys, for the 20 free stocks. It won't last forever. Matter of fact, I think it's done at the end of this month. August 31st, boom, done. We'll come out with something else. But for right now, them 20 free stocks, it's running out. And like I said, it's publicly traded company. You could get a mega cap, you could get a hyperscaler, you can get semiconductors, you can get any other industry, right? It's publicly traded companies that you're gonna get. Well, all right, let's dive into this, this conversation we wanna have today. Got my laptop on over here so that way I know what's going on. And again, I don't know, for some reason I don't see the chat, but that's okay. I know it's there because I can see it on this screen. I just can't see it over here for whatever reason. Let me do this. Let me see if I can just put it on. Everything's visible. And maybe that'll help. Okay, nevertheless, let's dive into this conversation because I ain't gonna keep y'all long. So here's the conversation I wanna have with you today about me and how I'm gonna take the Nvidia stock and I'm gonna turn that amount of money that I invest, I'm gonna turn it into 8 figures. I'm gonna turn it into 8 figures. But for this purpose of this, let's just say I start with zero. Let's say I start with zero. I got $0. And over the next 10 years, I want to make $1 million in the Nvidia stock. Richard Fang, not you, me. I'm just telling you what my thought process is, okay? Whatever you want to do with your thought process, that's okay. Because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not recommending you go buy Nvidia stock. I'm just telling you what I'm gonna do. I just gotta keep saying that because some folks, they just hear what they wanna hear in these live streams. They just hear whatever they want to hear. They block out everything else and hear whatever they wanna hear. So I gotta keep reiterating, this is for Richard Fang, me. This is what I would do if I were faced with a situation where I had zero net worth and over the next 10 years, I want to go from zero net worth to $1 million net worth. Zero net worth right now. Basically nothing. I want to go from nothing to everything. How do I do it in 10 years using the Nvidia stock? That's what I want to share with you today. This is what I would do. Okay, first thing, I got to figure out, okay, I know about this company. I've done a little homework, so I know a little history about this company. But over the next 5 to 10 years, what can I expect this company to do from an ROI so that I can put my money in it and I can be at $1 million, I can have $1 million in 10 years, right? I need to know what's projected. What are the experts saying about this company's stock and what this company can do over the next 5 to 10 years from an ROI? Because what I need to know is that ROI or the projected ROI or the prediction on the ROI so I know how much money I need to put in order to get to my million. Right now I got zero net worth. I want to get to $1 million using the Nvidia stock. So I need to know that. So I need to go out and do a little research on this company and figure that out. So that's what I did, right? This is what I recommend all y'all do if you're trying to do anything with any paper assets. Get yourself out and do some research. Go out to Google and do some research on whatever company or whatever ETF you want to buy. And then you got to do a future value of money. That future value of money is going to tell you, okay, based on your research, based on what experts are saying, based on the history of this company, what this company has done, you take that ROI and you put it into a future value of money calculator, and it will tell you how much money you need to be putting in every year at that ROI in 10 years to get to your million. I love that because I don't have to be that smart to figure that out. See, I don't have to go to college and get a 4-year degree. I don't need a master's degree. I don't need a PhD, right? I don't need to have a Series 7 license. I don't need a Series 6 license. I don't need to be a CFP. I don't need to be a CPA. I don't have to have worked on Wall Street. I don't need any of that stuff to figure this out. All I need is a smartphone and Google. That's all I need. Smartphone and Google, right? That's all I need. I don't need no more education than that. I need to know how to turn on my smartphone, and I need to know how to get to Google. That's my education. That's like a second grade education, because a kindergartner can do that. I mean, most kindergartners know how to turn on a cell phone and they know how to get to Google. So if you went to kindergarten, you should be able to do this, right? So here we go. I figured that out, right? I'm smarter than a kindergartner. So I figured out how to turn on my cell phone, and I figured out how to get to Google. So what do I go to Google and say? I say, Google, listen, I want to use this company, Nvidia, and I want to be able to go from zero to $1 million in 10 years using Nvidia stock. Give me some information. So what do? I go look for Nvidia's information. And what do I look for? I say to Google, where will Nvidia stock be in 5 to 10 years? That's what I put into Google. Where will Nvidia stock be in 5 to 10 years? Boom. That's what I put into Google. See, if I graduated from kindergarten, I know how to do that. I know how to turn my cell phone on, and I know how to get to Google. And I did graduate from kindergarten, right? I got that far. So I turned on the phone, I went to Google, and I typed into Google, where will Nvidia stock be in 5 to 10 years? That's all I put in. Hit the search button, and guess what Google does? Does all the work for me. I keep telling y'all guys. First of all, Google AI bot, the AI bot in Google, that's the first thing you're gonna get. The AI bot gonna summarize everything for you. The AI bot gonna summarize everything for you, and then the AI bot gonna give you articles to go read. Keep telling y'all guys, this is not rocket science. So the AI bot in Google gonna give me a synopsis, right? They're gonna give me a synopsis, and then they're going to give me articles that I can then take those articles, and then I can research Nvidia stock, Nvidia stock. So that's what I do. So I did that. And the AI bot gave me a little synopsis, and then it gave me a really good article by NASDAQ. It gave me a really good article about NASDAQ. NASDAQ did an article where they are projecting out, based on historical data from Nvidia, the company. NASDAQ took the historical data and they put it into a prediction, a future value ROI prediction. And that's the article I'm looking at right now. And here's what it says. Let's just read right through it. See, guys, you don't have to be all that. You don't need to know a lot to do this. I've just given you the whole research model. I gave you the research model that I used. You notice I didn't say I went to Nvidia's factory or their headquarters. You notice I didn't go into all this other stuff. I just went to Google, turned on the phone, went to Google, asked Google one simple question. Where will Nvidia stock be in 5 to 10 years? That's the research. And then I use Google's AI bot, who then gives me a quick rundown of the company. Right there, 2-3 paragraphs, quick rundown. And then it gives me articles by experts who've already done the research for me. Click on the article. Here's the article. The past 5 years have been rewarding for Nvidia investors. That's the way the article starts, guys. The article says the past 5 years have been rewarding for the Nvidia investors. So historically, this company has rewarded its investors with net worth. I'm loving that, right? I'm loving that. The semiconductor specialist stock is a solid multi-bagger. What does multi-bagger mean? It can make you rich. That's what multi-bagger means. It can make you rich. Turning a January 2019 investment of $1,000 into $14,550 as of this writing. So somebody that put $1,000 in this stock in January 2019, they would have almost 15x. So if I'm a guy who has really no money and I'm trying to figure out a way to collapse time frames and get to this bag, this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and I got very little money, this company right here might be the company. I mean, they're telling you if somebody put $1,000 in this company in January 2019 today, that $1,000 would be worth $14,550, almost a 15xer. So just think if somebody would have put 100 grand in, what would they have today, 5 years later? That's all I'm trying to tell you guys. So if I'm looking for a company that can collapse time frames and get me to the bag, get me to the pot of gold as fast as I can get there, this might be one of the companies to take a look at it for me, not for you, for me. So let's keep moving. So first off right there, first little paragraph, first little sentence sets the stage. $1,000 investment, 2019, 14,550, 2024, 5 years, 5 years. Your $1,000 investment, you didn't put no more money in. You just put $1,000 in there. I put $1,000 in 2019. I put $1,000 in 2019, and in 2024 it's worth almost $15,000. Come on, guys. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure this one out. Check it out. This traffic, oh, I'm sorry. Let me start over. I'm excited, so I'm messing up my words. This terrific jump in Nvidia's stock price over the past decade can be attributed to outstanding growth in the company's revenue and earnings. The growth is fueled. Computer keep turning off. There we go. This terrific jump in Nvidia's stock price over the past decade can be attributed to the outstanding growth in the company's revenue and earnings. This growth is fueled by multiple catalysts, including the booming demand for gaming hardware, the growing demand for high-performance computing applications, the increasing deployment of semiconductors in cars, and now the need for graphics cards for training artificial intelligence models. That's the key word right there, guys. The key word right there is graphic cards for training artificial intelligence models. Remember, we talked about these hyperscalers. We talk about these mega caps. See, we talked about companies like Google, Apple, Meta, Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft, IBM, and Oracle. We talked about these hyperscalers. We talked about how they need these GPUs in order to get their artificial intelligence platforms at number one. Because if you ain't number one, you're last. If you ain't in first place, you're in last place. So they're gonna spend $4 to $5 billion a year running after this thing. And guess who's in the catbird seat to capitalize on a lot of that? A company by the name of Nvidia or Nvidia. So that's how you go $1,000 in 2019 to $15,000 in 2024. 5 years because of that. Okay, let's keep moving. I just want to set the stage for you how I'm gonna make this $1 million. The good part is that Nvidia is setting itself up to deliver even stronger returns over the next 5 years through its aggressive product roadmap. You see where I'm going with this, right? You see where I'm going with this. See, for me, that's very exciting. I'm a guy that says, hey, I got no net worth, but I need $1 million net worth in 5 to 10 years. How do I get it? So then I go out and find a way to get it. So I find this company, Nvidia, and I look at the historical on this company, or at least Google shows me the historical. Google's AI bot shows me the historical. And the historical says, listen, Richard, if you'd have put $1,000 in this company in 2019, that $1,000 would be worth $15,000 today in 2024. So I'm thinking to myself, shoot, can this company repeat that? Can it repeat that? Oh, this is what it says. The good part is that Nvidia is setting itself up to deliver even stronger returns over the next 5 years. What you say now? What you say now? What you say now? They gonna do this again and be even bigger? Is that what you're saying now? Okay, let me take a look here. So let me get this straight. They delivered over the last 5 years, 2019 to 2024, a 15x. Now you're saying from 2024 to 2029, they do better than a 15x? I don't know if it's true, guys. I'm just telling you what the article is saying and what my research came up with for me. I'm not asking you to do this. I just want you to sit here and be entertained. You ain't got to do any of this. I'm just telling you what I'm getting ready to do. You just sit here and be entertained. Just listen to me. Do me a big favor. Just listen to me. Hear me all the way out. Okay. So it says the good part is that Nvidia is setting itself up to deliver even stronger returns over the next 5 years through its aggressive product roadmap, which should allow it to capitalize on multiple multi-billion-dollar opportunities. It's worth noting that the company pointed out a couple of years ago that it sees a 1 trillion, that's with a T, 1 trillion with a T, revenue opportunity across several end markets such as automotive, gaming, enterprise software, chips, and systems. So for some of us out here, some people are saying, you know something, Richard? This company only does one thing. They only do one thing. They just make chips for hyperscalers. They don't do nothing else. What if them hyperscalers don't spend no money no more? What is this company gonna do? Because the only thing they do is just make money. They make chips for hyperscalers. Well, I beg to differ. Right here it says, let me read it to you again, because again, guys, I'm about as smart as a kindergartner. So I have to read this thing 5 times for it to sink in. So let me read it for you, because I'm about as smart as a kindergartner. Let me check it out one more time. Let me run through it one more time for me. You just listen, but I'm really doing this for me, so it can sink into the filter system. It's worth noting that the company pointed out a couple of years ago that it sees a 1 trillion revenue opportunity across several end markets, such as automotive, gaming, enterprise software, chips, and systems. So they believe, this company believes, they got a broad opportunity to get themselves intertwined in any industry that they want. Automotive, gaming, hyperscalers through chips, data systems or data centers, all kind of stuff. All kind of stuff. That's why I keep telling y'all in previous videos, this company is evolving. They're not gonna just be a chip maker for hyperscalers. They're not. Okay, I love that. I love that they have a vision for the future. And they're not just sitting and resting on their morals, right? I love that. Let's keep moving. Given that it's on track to finish fiscal 2024 with 59 billion in revenue. So basically what they did in 2023, part of 23, part of 24 was their fiscal year. They did 60 billion. Well, Richard, that ain't that much. What's so exciting about that? You got Microsoft that does 350 billion. These guys only do 60 billion. How can they get you to $1 million? Well, let me tell you. In 2016, they did 5 billion. 2024, they did, 2023, they did 60 billion. Now, again, I'm as smart as a kindergartner, so I have to go do the math. When I go do the math says that's a 12x. In the world I live in, a 12x is a 12x. It's pretty dang on good. So if I go from 5 billion 8 years ago, and all of a sudden I'm at 60 billion, that's a 12x. So let me make sure I get this right. So from 2016 to 2023, year end 2023, they do a 12x. From January 2019, had I put $1,000 in, to all the way to 2024, I'd have went from 1,000 to 15,000. That's a 15x. I don't know. Like I said, I'm as smart as a kindergartner. So to me, them seem like some big numbers. I don't know about to you. So I know a lot of you guys are educated. You got your degrees. You got your everything. So you're a little smarter than me. But I'm just telling you, that sounds like good numbers to me in the world I come out of. Given that it's on track to finish fiscal year 2024, which is basically calendar year 2023, at 60 billion in revenue, it won't be surprising to see Nvidia's revenue and earnings growth accelerating big time over the next decade. So you go from 5 billion, fast forward 8 years later, you're doing 60 billion. What are they predicted to do? Oh, we ain't gonna even jump the gun. We'll get to that in a second. Let's just stay on track, Richard. Don't get excited, stay on track. So Nvidia sees big opportunity to continue accelerating their revenue over the next decade. And as it dives deeper into its addressable market. What is its addressable market? They just told you what the addressable market is. Automotive, gaming, enterprise software, chips, and systems. Yeah, that's their addressable market. Their addressable market, since a lot of us think that's all they do is chips to hyperscalers, that's not all they do. This company says they're going to be doing many more things. Automotive, they're going to continue doing gaming, enterprise software, chips, and systems. That's their addressable market, guys. And they feel like they can get at least $1 trillion out of that. They feel like they can get $1 trillion in revenue just out of that. Okay, I like that. Let's keep moving. Let's look at the reason why that may happen and where the stock could be after 5 years. So I just set the stage for you. Because see, here's the knock. Oh no, they can't do this anymore. Yeah, I know in 2019 they did a 15x from 2019 to 2024. They did a 15x. You could have put $1,000 in. It would have been worth 15,000 today. That's a 15x. We know they did it, but they won't do that again. Well, I just set the stage for you to tell you why they believe they will do it again, and I love that. I told you what the addressable market is, and I told you what they feel like they do in revenue from that addressable market, which is about $1 trillion over the next decade. Okay? Now, the article says, let's take a look at the reasons why this might happen. Matter of fact, let's take a look at why it might happen over the next 5 years. Here we go. Nvidia is growing at an eye-popping pace that shows no signs of slowing. So a guy like me that says, you know something, I got zero net worth. I want to put a certain level of money in here and get my net worth up to $1 million over the next 5 to 10 years. How do I do that? They finna tell me. They finna tell me. And you notice, I didn't do much research. I did one thing. Matter of fact, I did 3 things. I turned on my iPhone. I went to Google and I asked Google, what will Nvidia stock be worth in 5 to 10 years? 3 simple steps. And poof, all the information shows up. This is what I'm trying to tell you, man. We make this thing harder than it really is. Now, whether you believe this information or not is up to you. I don't know what you believe. I believe it. I don't know what you believe. And that's not my responsibility to figure out what you believe. My responsibility is to figure out what I believe. Your responsibility is to figure out what you believe. I ain't trying to convince you of nothing. You can sit right there and just be entertained. That's good enough for me. I'm finna get rich. And I'm just trying to walk you through what I'm finna do. Right? Boom. Let's keep going. Nvidia is growing at an eye-popping pace that shows no signs of slowing. When Nvidia reported its fiscal 2019 results 5 years ago, the company generated annual revenue of $11.7 billion. That's what they did in 2019 now. Remember, in 2016, they did $5 billion. $5 billion in 2016. 2019, that went to 11.7 billion. So in 3 years, doubled. Just telling you the facts. Go research it yourself. I'm giving you the facts. So Nvidia's revenue is on track to increase 5 times in a space of 5 years if its fiscal 2024 forecast translating into a compounded annual growth rate, or CAGR, of 38%. Let me rewind that so that my little brain, like I told you, I'm as smart as a kindergartner. Let me rewind that and run it by my brain one more time. So that way I got it. I ain't got no misunderstandings. When Nvidia reported its fiscal 2019 results 5 years ago, the company generated annual revenues of 11.7 billion. So in 2016, they did 5 billion. In 2019, 3 years later, they did 11.7 billion. So they basically doubled the revenue in 3 years. Okay, that's first. And that's billions with a B. So Nvidia's revenue is on track to increase 5 times in a space of 5 years, considering its fiscal 2024 forecast. When you translate that forecast into compounded annual growth rate, that's CAGR, compounded annual growth rate of 38%. So 38% annual compounded growth rate. That's going to be an important number when we go to the future value calculator in a second. Very important number. I just wanted to get you guys to understand how I came up with that number, because some people think I just pulled this out of the sky. This is how I came up with it. You take a look at the 2019 revenue, right? It was 11.7 billion. And also what they're saying is, when you look at their forecast for revenue in 2024, that's a 5 times. So if they can get that 5 times, what's going to happen? And what's the 5 times? That's the 60 billion. Right? If it's 11.7 billion in 2019, you fast forward out 5 years to 2024, AKA 2023, really, you do 60 billion. What did you just do? What did you just do to your revenue in those 5 years? Like I said, guys, I'm as smart as a kindergartner. But it don't take much to figure that out. You just go to your calculator and you do the math on your phone. Not the calculator in here, on the phone. That's a 5X. That's a 5X. So if your revenues were in 2019, if your revenues were 11.7 billion, and in 2023, end of 2023, your revenues are 60 billion, which it was. Go out and do your research, guys. These people did 60 billion. So they went from 11.7 billion in revenue in 2019 to the end of 2023, they did 60 billion. That's a 5X. So based on that, that's a 38% compounded annual growth rate. So that 38% I'm going to use in my calculation. You know how I got there. I didn't just pull it out of the, out of a hat. No, hey, this is how I arrived at that number from, well, I didn't arrive at it, but Google in the article arrived at that number from what they've already done, from their past performance. Not my number, past performance. That's what the past performance said. Past performance could potentially predict future performance, right? So here we go. 11.7 billion in 2019, all the way up to 60 billion in 2023. A 5Xer, 38% compounded annual growth rate. Bingo. Now I got my number. 38% is my number, right? That's my number that's going to get me from 0 to 1 million. That number in 10 years, right? So here we go. A similar CAGR over the next 5 years would take Nvidia's annual revenue to a whopping 295 billion in fiscal 2029. Help me out. They've already identified their addressable market. They've already identified what that addressable market could mean when it comes to revenue, which is upwards of $1 trillion with a T, not just the hyperscalers, but to the automotive industry, the gaming industry, the enterprise software industry, chips and systems. 295 million in top line revenue by 2029. So you go from 5 billion in 2016. Follow me on this, guys. You go from 5 billion in 2016 to 295 billion by the end of 2029. That, like I said, I'm smart as a kindergartner. But goodness gracious, man, what if I put my money in this company every single year and they take this leap from 60 billion to 295 billion? What do you think gonna happen to my little money that I put in there? What do you think gonna happen? What do you think gonna happen from 2024 to 2029? 5 years, when they go from 60 billion to 295 billion. What happens to this guy, this little old guy who out here working, taking what he make, investing it into this type of company? What happens to my money, guys? If this company goes from 60 billion to 295 billion in revenue over the next 5 years, what happens to my money? Ooh, I'm excited, guys. Y'all can tell I'm excited. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to be excited, because I'm not telling you to do this. I'm telling you what I'm doing, and I'm trying to paint the picture for you why I'm doing it. That's what I do on my channel. So I don't just pull stuff out of a hat. I go get hard research. Google. Collapse time frames for me and make it easy for me. Google. And then the company, obviously. So the company has already done 60 billion. They've already done that. They closed out fiscal year 2024, which is AKA 2023, at 60 billion. It's in the bag. Guess what they're projected to do in fiscal year 2025, which is 2024 calendar? Over 100 billion. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're gonna flip that thing 100% in 1 year. Boy, I'm finna get rich, man. I'm finna get rich. So let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. However, and then we're gonna get to the numbers, because I ain't gonna keep y'all long. I'm gonna keep y'all about an hour. I ain't gonna keep you long. We're gonna get to the numbers here in a second, but I gotta set the stage so the numbers make sense. Okay? I can't just give you the numbers and y'all be like, oh, this guy in Alice in Wonderland somewhere. He's caught up in some fantasy world. No, I give you the numbers first, concrete, hard evidence, then I'll show you the numbers. But let's get the evidence out the way first, because I don't want to be no misunderstanding how I'm going to do this. Not you, but me. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm going to do it. Matter of fact, I just want you to sit here and listen. Don't do nothing. I'm telling you what I'm doing. However, certain Wall Street analysts believe that Nvidia could do even better. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Take, I don't know how to spell this guy's name. I can spell it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Take MIZUHO analyst VJ Rakesh, for example. He predicts that Nvidia could generate annual revenue of $300 billion in 2027. 3 years from now, you go from 60 billion to 300 billion. Boy, look at here. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Let me get this thing back on. That's what he expects. That's insane, guys. That's literally insane numbers. If that would happen, I don't know if it'll happen, but if he's predicting it could. From selling AI chips alone, he's thinking they can go 300 billion just in AI chips. Not everything else they're going to be doing, just the chips. They can do 300 billion in 2027. They can do revenues of 300 billion in 2027 just off the chips. Thanks to having a solid 75% share of the fast-growing market. See, this company also has 75 to 90% of the market share. So if you're talking about a $1 trillion industry, you're talking about a half a trillion dollar industry. When you got 75% of that in your pocket, you can do those types of revenues. Is basically what this expert is saying. He's saying these guys could do upwards of 300 billion in 2027 from AI chips alone, thanks to having a solid 75% share of this fast-growing market. While that may seem outrageous at first, a closer look at the market for AI chips indicate that Nvidia could indeed hit that ambitious mark. It's well known that Nvidia is the biggest player in one of the hottest tech niches right now, AI chips, which have allowed the company to record a terrific jump in revenue and earnings over the past year. I mean, that's huge, guys, right? That's huge. That's huge. Note that this market for AI chips is at the beginning of a huge growth curve. Nvidia's rival, Advanced Micro Devices, estimates that the market for AI accelerators could jump to 400 billion in 2027, a big jump from last year's estimate of 45 billion. So in 2023, you had 45 billion. Now the estimates are all the way up to 400 billion by 2027. Citibank analysts, big boy blue chip, fourth largest bank in America. Citibank analysts expects Nvidia to maintain a giant 90% share of the market over the next 2 or 3 years. Now, a lot of y'all that's been rocking with me know I've already told y'all this. Nobody catches these guys in the next 3 to 5 years. I've told y'all that. I've went on record on many live streams telling y'all that. Nobody catches these guys in the next 3 to 5 years. Oh, that's just Richard Fain. He has a kindergartner's education. He's a kindergartner. He's as smart as a kindergartner. He can say that, but I don't believe him. Do you believe Citibank? Do you believe Citibank, who's the fourth largest bank in America? Do you believe them? They just said exactly what I said. Matter of fact, they accelerated it. They said the next 2 to 3 years. I said 3 to 5 years. They said 2 to 3 years. This Citibank, this ain't Richard Fain. This is what Citibank is saying. Let me run it by you one more time, just in case you missed it. Citibank analysts expect Nvidia to maintain a giant 90% share of the market over the next 2 to 3 years, despite the efforts its rivals are making to cut Nvidia's lead in the market. I told y'all, nobody can catch these guys over the next 3 to 5 years, man. Nobody. Nobody. So if the AI market through chips is a $500 billion market over the next 3 years, and you got 75 to 90% of the market share, again, guys, kindergartner can figure this out. I can figure this out. It's going to be some big revenue going in Nvidia if all this stuff pans out, right? If it all pans out. I don't know if it will or not. I ain't got no crystal ball. All I can do is execute, keep the fingers crossed, right? Pray. That's because Nvidia has doubled down on the pace of innovation. This is why they have the market share, and this is why they're going to do what they're going to do, in my opinion. That's because Nvidia has doubled down on the pace of innovation in AI chips, which should help it maintain a solid share of this market in the long run. As such, the possibility of Nvidia indeed generating $300 billion in annual revenue from AI chip sales after 5 years cannot be ruled out. It can hit that mark even if its share falls to 75%, Rakesh suggests, considering that the overall AI chip market size is anticipated to hit $400 billion as per AMD's estimates. This wasn't Nvidia's estimates. This was a rival. Advanced Micro Devices. That's a Nvidia rival. Their rival came out and said the industry by 2027 could be $400 billion. And if Nvidia controls 75, let's just say they control 70% of that. How much is that? That's about 280 billion. That goes to Nvidia, and then companies like AMD and the like, they get the rest. They get the other 120 billion. Still makes them good companies too. Come on now. Y'all help me out here. Come on now. Help me out here. Help me out here. The good news is that Nvidia is looking to flex its muscles beyond the AI accelerator market. The company recently revealed new consumer-focused graphics cards people can use to run AI applications right on their desktops and laptops for gaming, creating large language models, customizing generative AI models, and even inferencing applications. It's big words here, guys. I told y'all, kindergartner here. Inferencing applications. For instance, Nvidia claims that its new RTX 4080 super graphics card generates AI video 1.5 times faster and images 1.7 times faster than the GeForce RTX 3080 Ti GPU. People ain't messing around, man. Check this out. Given that the demand for devices that can run AI at the edge, such as smartphones, personal computers, cameras, is expected to clock annual growth of 26% through 2032 and generate $143 billion in annual revenue at the end of the forecast period. Nvidia is doing the right thing by tapping this market early. So I keep telling y'all, this company is just not hyperscalers dependent. They're also going after consumers in the form of giving people access to things that they can connect to these smartphones, their laptops, their desktops, and get faster speeds. Whether it be video, whether it be images, right? They're gonna be able to do more with these GPU on the phone. Come on, guys. It ain't just hyperscalers, right? It's just not hyperscalers. Also consider the other notable catalyst that Nvidia could benefit from. It won't be surprising to see the company's top line head to $300 billion after 5 years. If that's indeed the case, investors can expect the stock to deliver outstanding gains once again over the coming 5 years. Just telling you guys, this is what I'm hanging my hat on. I don't know about y'all. The research looks pretty solid. It looks doable. They have a history of 15xing, 12xing since 2016 to now. I don't know. They right now, from 2023 calendar to 2024 calendar, they got an opportunity to double top line revenue from 60 billion to 120 billion. They're on pace to do that this year. Yes, sirski. Yes, sirski. Yes, sirski. They certainly are. Investors can expect the stock to make them richer. So y'all think I just be saying these little titles to be saying them? No, I believe this. So I'm built different, man. I'm built different. I believe this. I'm not telling you something that I don't believe. I believe this. I don't know what you believe. You got to figure out that. You got to sit down and go have a heart-to-heart with yourself. You got to figure out how you're going to do something with your net worth. This is how I plan on moving the needle on my net worth. Next 5 to 10 years, man, this is how, right here. This is how I'm going to do it. And here's what it's saying. Investors can expect the stock to make them rich. Richer, right? Nvidia has a 5-year average price to sales ratio of 20. As we are assuming that the company's revenue growth over the next 5 years can match the rate it has clocked in the past 5 years. See where I'm going with this? I brought you through the last 5 years. Now they're telling you what's potentially can happen in the next 5. And this is how I get rich. Because I wasn't there for 2016. I wasn't invested. But I'm invested right now because I got 11,200 shares. All purchased in 2024. So I'm right there. Everything I'm telling you right now, if it comes true, guys, on them 11,200 shares, it's going to be about $10 million. And I know some of y'all will laugh and think I'm crazy and put it all in the little live chat. Go ahead. Go ahead and laugh. I'm going to laugh right along with you. Because, boy, if I hit that lotto, if I hit that 10 million, ooh, goodness gracious alive. If I hit that lotto, guys, if I hit this lotto on them 11,200 shares, goodness gracious. Here's why I believe I'm going to hit it. Let's go. Let's go. Here's why I believe I'm going to hit it. Here's why I believe this 11,200 shares I got going to make me $10 million. Here we go. Nvidia has a 5-year average price to sales ratio of 20. As we are assuming, of course I'm assuming too, I don't know this to be a fact, I'm assuming. As we are assuming that the company's revenue, all right, man, stop turning off here, buddy. Come on, buddy. Here we go. Nvidia has a 5-year average price to sales ratio of 20. As we are assuming that the company's revenue growth over the next 5 years can match the rate it has clocked in the past 5, we can expect Nvidia to maintain its average sales multiple over the next 5 years as well, based on a top line of 300 billion after 5 years, a sales multiple of 20 points towards a market cap of a whopping $6 trillion. That's with a T. And that's on 300 billion in revenue with a sales multiple of 20. They've already done that in the past. They've already done that. They've already done the sales multiple of 20. They've already done it. What they're telling you here is if this company can get its top line revenue to 300 billion in the next 5 years, let me tell you where they're going to be at the end of 2024. They're going to be over 100 billion. So in the next 4 years, from 25 to 29, and from 25 to 29, they can add another 200 billion to revenue. They're going to be a $6 trillion market cap. Whew. So what's going to happen to my 11,200 shares over that time? This is all I'm trying to tell y'all guys. What's going to happen to my shares? Now, there's a chance the shares could go to zero. There's a chance. History doesn't back that up, though. History doesn't back that up. History says No. History says it won't go to zero. History says there's a potential this thing could go to $10 million. That's what history tells me. For me, not for you, me. I don't want you to do anything other than just be entertained. I'm just telling you what I'm doing because I don't want to be accused of me trying to tell y'all to go buy Nvidia stock because it's not what I'm telling you. And not one time in this whole live stream have I told you to go buy anything. I told you to go check out the Moo link, get yourself 20 free stocks. I told you to go check out my website, get you some digital products to help you get to your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I've asked you to consider joining the Wealth Builders Mentorship Club, fastest growing financial community on Patreon. I've asked you to consider that. But not one time in this whole live stream have I asked you to buy anything that has to do with Nvidia. I didn't ask you to do anything. I told you what I'm doing and how I'm gonna make $10 million. That's all I said. I'm not telling you anything for you to do other than just listen and be entertained. That's all it is. It's just entertainment, right? I'm no longer an education channel. I'm just an entertainment channel, right? So here we go. Let's just recap that real quick. Nvidia has a 5-year average price to sales ratio of 20. Proven. Historical data. That's proven. This ain't no makeup. This is proven. They already have a price to sales ratio of 20. Proven. Documented. This ain't no, oh, this might happen. No, this has already happened. All they're taking is that price to sales. They're taking that 5-year average price to sales ratio of 20 and they're extrapolating that out to the future. Right? So keep that in mind. They already have the 5-year average price to sales ratio of 20. That's done, accomplished. As we are assuming that the company's revenue growth over the next 5 years can match the rate it has clocked in the past 5 years. Remember what they're telling you here. From 2019 to 2024, they 5x'd. They're telling you if they can 5x one more time from basically 60 to 300, which is another 5x, keeping the same average price to sales ratio of 20, they'll have a $6 trillion market cap. This is what we're saying here, right? That would be way higher than Nvidia's current market cap of around a little under 3 trillion. However, Nvidia carries a discounted forward price to sales ratio of 14. Assuming a similar multiple after 5 years means that its market cap could increase to 4.2. So they're saying even if you take away the 20, you do 14, you're still at a $4.2 trillion market cap. Using the 300 billion revenue estimate again, that points towards a 3x jump in Nvidia's stock price over the next 5 years. A 3x jump in 5 years on the low. On the high, 5x jump. So if I go 5x jump on the stock price, it's currently trading at what? Let's see. Let me do the math on this. I'm just trying to give y'all a little math. Let's just say the stock price is $120 a share, right? Today. Let's say they 5x it. It goes to $600 a share. It goes to $600 a share in 5 years, right? I got 11,200 shares. Let's just say I paid 120, which I didn't. I didn't pay 120. I don't have a cost basis of $120 a share. My cost basis is much less. It's around a 105. But let's just use the 120. Not the 105, which it is, but let's use the 120. So I got 11,200 shares times 600. That's $6,720,000. Right? Keep that number in mind. Just let's say my cost basis is $120 a share. on 11,200 shares. That's 1.344. 6750 minus 1344. That's 5 million. 5 years. That ain't the 10 years. That's 5 years. That's a 5x. If you do the 3x, it's a little bit less than that, but it's still a lot of money, right? So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Now let's go back and finish this thing up, and we're gonna get out of here. Let's finish this thing up. So I just walked you through 11,200 shares. If we get a 5x on the stock price over the next 5 years, and we're just saying the stock price is 120. Mine is 105, but I'm gonna say 120. I told you what the numbers are. You're talking about a $5 million profit. Boom, 5 years. On 11,200 shares, $5 million profit. Yes, sirski. So let's move on. Let's move on. All this indicates that investors can expect Nvidia to jump substantially over the next 5 years and multiply their investments once again, making it a top growth stock to buy right now. I don't know, guys. Y'all figure it out for yourself. But I've just given you what I'm doing. So in 2024, Richard Fain, not you, not anybody else, but Richard Fain in 2024, I bought 11,200 shares. My average cost per share is about $105 a share. So my 11,200 shares, cost me about 1.175. That's what it cost me, 1.175. We 5X, right? Let's say average right now is 120. We 5X and we get to 600 times 600. That's 6720. So 6720 minus 1175 is 5545. Now, again, that's me. I'm not telling that's what you need to be thinking about. You can go do whatever you want to do or do nothing. That's fine. But for me, this is how I take my money that I earn. I don't buy things to make other people wealthy, and I put it in assets like this. And over the next 5 years, this is what I believe will happen. Now, some of y'all may say, well, golly, 600, okay. I still believe this thing go to 1,000, guys, buy it. I think go to 1,000. Let's say go to 1,000 in the next 10 years. Say go to 1,000, right? You already know my cost basis. 1175 is my cost basis. Let's say go to 1,000. I got 11,200 shares times 1,000. That's 11.2. It's 11.2. So 11.2, right? 11.2 minus 1175. That's the cost basis. There's your 8 figures. That's how I get to the 10 million. Remember I said that earlier? I told you I was gonna make $10 million in this stock. That's how I make it. If I bail out at 5, if it gets to 605, that's 5 million. If it gets to $1,000 a share in the next 10 years, that's 10 million. And I know a lot of y'all gonna say, nah, that's not true. That's not true. That'll never happen. That'll never happen. There would be a $30 trillion company. There'll never be a $30 trillion company. That'll never happen. Well, they said the same thing about Apple. See, in 2014, Apple was about a $300 billion company. Apple. In 2014, they said the same thing about Apple. And guess what? 10 years later, Apple is a $3 trillion company. A cool 10x. Yeah, said Apple couldn't do it either, but they did it within 10 years. So I don't sit here and tell people what they can't do. See, I'm not a can't do guy. I'm a can do guy. Can't ain't in my vocabulary. I don't worry about no can't. Can't is not in my vocabulary, guys. I'm sorry. I know some of y'all can't is in your vocabulary, but it ain't in mine. What's in my vocabulary is can do, not can't do. I never tell somebody what they can't do. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. That's the way I look at it. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Glass half full, glass half empty. You pick. I choose glass half full. So I gave you the numbers, but let me give you one more number. For a Richard Fain that just starting out and ain't got no money. Let's give you that number. I already gave you the Richard Fain that got 11,200 shares and what I'm going to make over the next 5 and 10 years, given the stock 5X's itself every 5 years. Right? First 5 years of it 5X, it's going to be $600 a share. The next 5 years after that, if it 5X's, it's going to be over 1,000 a share. So it'll probably be over 3,000 a share if it continues, but it won't. I'm just saying 1,000 a share by the end of 10 years. So let's give y'all the Richard Fain just starting out version. Let's say I didn't have the 11,200 shares and I'm just a regular guy trying to figure out how I use this stock to make $1 million. And then we're going to end this thing. Same 10-year window, right? That's the 10-year window, right? Same 10-year window that I always have started with from day one. From the seed, y'all know I've been talking about a 10-year window for me. That was so I'm going to use the same 10-year window. I'm going to use 38%. Well, go, where did you get that 38% from, Richard? I just walked you through where I got it from. I just told you where the 38% came from. I gave you the numbers. I'm not going to go through it again. Right? Remember I told y'all in the live stream about 15, 20 minutes ago, I said, listen, remember this number because I'm going to use it again. And it was the 38%. It was the compounded annual rate of return. Right? It was the compounded annual rate of return. From 2000, I think it was from 2019 to 2024, where they took revenues and they 5x'd them. Right? So that's where the 38%, it's the compounded annual growth rate. I'm sorry, compounded annual growth rate. That's where I get the 38% from. Rewind the video and go check that out, but I ain't finna go through the whole again. So 38%, because that is the compounded annual growth rate from 2019 to 2024. Boom, go do the homework. You can figure it out yourself. Now, how much money do I got to put in over the next 10 years, every year, in order to get to $1 million if I'm just starting out? I'm just a guy that's just starting out, Richard. I ain't got no 11,200 shares, Richard. Richard Fain at 25 years old ain't got no 11,200 shares. I got 0 shares. So how does Richard Fain at 25 years old? How does Richard Fain at 35 years old? How does Richard Fain at 40 years old? How does Richard Fain at 18 years old? How do he get to $1 million using the stock over the next 10 years when he ain't got no money? He ain't got no 11,200 shares. How does he get there? Let me show you. I'm going to share with you. So how much money do I need to invest every year at a compounded annual growth rate? Y'all know I got that 38% from Nvidia's growth rate over the last 5 years, 2019 to 2024. Their compounded annual growth rate was 38%. So this ain't cat in the hat where I just pulled it out of the hat. No, that's the numbers. That's a fact. It's a fact. It's not me making this up. That is a fact. From 2019 to 2024, their compounded annual growth rate was 38%. That's where I got that number from. How much do I need to put in every year over the next 10 years to get to a Milski? I want a Milski. I want to go from 0 to a Milski. I want a Milski in 10 years. Let's see how much money I need to put in every year. Oh, that look good. Check it out. I'm going to show y'all this. Because I know some of y'all think I just be fronting. There go your receipt. See that? There's your receipt. There's your receipt. I know some of y'all want some receipts. So how do I do it? I got to take $15,500 a year, right? $15,500 a year at a compounded annual growth rate of 38% over the next 10 years. On average, if I can do that, if Nvidia can do that, I'm going to have a Milski. Oh, $15,500 a year is a lot of money, Richard. It is. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But let's break that down. So we don't get a little sticker shock. Let's break that down and divide that by 12. So that's $1,290 every month that I got to put in for the next 10 years at a compounded annual growth rate of 38%. Richard, where are you going to get that $1,290 a month from? Well, I'm going to get out here and get a job. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to get me some side hustles. And I'm just going to do what? Discipline myself, be consistent, and be patient. I'm not going to take that money, that $1,290 a month, and spend it on making somebody else wealthy. I'm going to spend it making me wealthy. I'm going to be a millionaire in 10 years. All I got to do is take my $1,291 or $1,290 a month, put it in the Nvidia stock, purchase that stock every month at $1,290 every month, compounded annual growth rate of 38% over the next 10 years. I'm going to have a Milski. So as a 25-year-old, by the time I'm 35, I'm going to have $1 million. As an 18-year-old, by the time I'm 28, I'm going to have $1 million. As a 38-year-old who started late, I'm going to do that, $1,290 a month, every month, every year for 10 years. And by 48, I'm going to be a millionaire. As a 60-year-old who just made some bad financial choices in life, and I'm way, 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 way behind the 8 ball, from 60 to 70, I'm going to take $1,290 a month, every single month, at a compounded annual growth rate of 38%. I'm going to buy Nvidia stock. And in 70 years old, I'm going to be a millionaire. I don't know about you, man. Pretty dang on good game plan for Richard Fain. Because I can do that. I can go out and drive Uber every day after work and make $1,200 a month, $1,300 a month extra. I ain't got to go learn no skill set. I can just say, okay, when I get off from work at 5 o'clock, I'm going to go home, spend a couple hours with the family, and then from 7 to 12 or 7 to 11, I'm going to drive Uber every night, Monday through Friday, and take the weekends off. And those 4 hours or 20 hours a week, right? Them 20 hours a week or 80 hours a month, I'm going to make me an extra $1,300 driving Uber. And I'm going to take that $1,300 that I make on Uber every month, and I'm going to buy Nvidia stock for the next 10 years. That's what I'm going to do. That's what Richard Fain's going to do if he's starting from zero. I ain't got to go buy no course. I ain't got to go find a guru. I ain't got to go in nobody's webinar. I ain't got to be funneled. I ain't got to go buy tax deeds on the steps of the courthouse to buy no tax deed. I ain't got to do none of that. All I got to do is get in my car Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. 4 hours a day, drive Uber 5 days a week. Take that Uber money put it in Nvidia stock, and forget about it for 10 years. And just do that. Rinse and repeat every month for 10 years. And then I'm going to look back on this when I'm a millionaire in Nvidia stock. I'm going to look back on it and say, time well spent. Time well spent. And then I'm going to look at my family and say, family, we debt free. We got a Milski. What y'all want to do? Where y'all want to go? What y'all want to experience? Ain't that going to be wonderful? Woo! Boy, that put little goosebumps on me, man, when I even think about that, man. See, that's how an ordinary person with ordinary means can become a millionaire in 10 years. Yes, sirski. Yes, sirski. Whether you believe that or not, that's on you. I don't really care what you believe. I believe what I believe, and that's what matters to me, right? What matters to me is what I believe because it's my financial freedom. What matters to you is what you believe because that's your financial freedom. You don't have to have paid attention or believe anything I just said. I'm just walking you through the steps of becoming a millionaire, the steps of becoming a multimillionaire for an ordinary person. You ain't got to be extraordinary, guys, when it comes to money making, but you do got to be extraordinary in your efforts and your attitude. Your efforts and your attitude have to be extraordinary. But you don't have to be an extraordinary earner. You don't have to be a 1%er. But you do got to be extraordinary when it comes to your attitude and your effort. Can you become extraordinary with your attitude and your effort today? Is the question you got to ask yourself. And what's your plan? What's your plan to a million, to multi-millions? What is your plan? Or are you going to take the easy way out and say, oh, I don't care nothing about no money. I don't care nothing about money. Okay, that's what you want to tell yourself. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. But let me ask you this. Since you don't care about money, don't go to work for 2 months and don't get a paycheck. Now, let's see if you care about it then. Just don't go in for 2 months. Don't go to work for 2 months. Just stay home. Don't call them. Just don't go in. And let's see if you care about money in 2 months. Guys, money ain't gonna make us happy. Money is a tool. But for us to sit up here and say we don't care about it, I don't know how genuine that is. I would never sit up here and say I don't care about money. I don't love money. And money is just a tool. But I need money in order to live. How am I buy food? How am I provide shelter for myself and my family? How am I gonna put gas in my car if I don't care about money, if I don't come on, guys. Nobody says we have to love money. No, we don't. But we do need it. All I'm trying to tell you is what's your plan to get it and keep it? You got to have a plan. For those of you that want to rock with me, all I'm going to ask you to do is get down in the description box and click on the Moomoo link. Open up your Moomoo account today. Get you up to 20 free publicly traded stocks, right? You put $100 in there, you're going to get 8 free publicly traded stocks. You put $1,000 in there, you're going to get 20 free publicly traded stocks. And now you get ready to go on your financial journey. My financial journey includes Nvidia, whatever you want to call it. That includes that's in my financial journey. I don't know what's in your financial journey, but you're going to need a brokerage account in order to execute paper assets. And I think the Moomoo Brokerage app is the best self-directed brokerage app on the market right now. That's my opinion. You may disagree, but that's my opinion. But if you want to be in a position to do something similar to what I'm doing, not with Nvidia, but whatever you want to plug in the blank. My blank is plugged in by Nvidia. Your blank can be plugged in by anything you want to plug in. That's up to you. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not your financial advisor. I don't tell people what to do. But you need a brokerage app if you're going to plug something in that blank, right? I'm offering you up to 20 free, well, not me. Moomoo is offering you up to 20 free stocks for just trying out the Moomoo Brokerage app. Get down in the description box, first link, click on that Moomoo link, sign yourself up for Moomoo, get yourself up to 20 free stocks, and now you're in the game. If any of you guys watched the USA yesterday, they played France, and the basketball team At the end of that game, I was watching the game. Steph Curry hit 4 daggers in a row. 4 in a row. One of the greatest performances I've ever seen in anything. I mean, anything. Yeah. What do you think was going through Steph's mind? What was going through Steph's mind was, man, I got to step up and be extraordinary. My team needs me. I got to step up whether I like it or not. Yep, I had 5 turnovers in the game. But guess what? When the game on the line, give me the ball, coach. And I'm going to step up and I'm going to hit 4 daggers in a row to clinch the game. Why do I tell you that? Because you're in a unique situation like Steph was in. But your team is your family. And even though you've made 5 turnovers in the past, where people might say, no, you ain't gonna build no wealth. You done goofed up a lot of money, man. Those are your 5 turnovers. Your family is still looking at you right now and saying, look, Richard, the game is on the line. And we need you to knock down these daggers. That's what your family is saying to you right now. No matter what you've done in the past, right now the game is on the line. And we need you to step up and knock down these daggers. The question is, are you going to step up like Steph Curry did for his family, for his team, and knock the daggers down? Or are you going to do that? Or are you going to say, no, family, pass the ball to somebody else? Pass the ball over here to this relative. Pass the ball to that, my son, my daughter, my wife, my husband, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my significant other, whatever you want to call it. Are you going to decline taking the shot? Or are you going to accept being extraordinary? Effort and attitude. Effort and attitude. You'll never take that from Steph. Nobody is going to remember that Steph had 5 turnovers. Ever. Guess what they're going to remember? The 4 daggers. I love that. Nobody is going to remember all the mistakes I made in my past with money. What they're going to remember is when I stepped up and became extraordinary for my family and changed my attitude and my effort. You going to step up today? You going to step up? You got to answer that, man. I can't answer it for you. But if you want to step up, step up. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Step up. Step up for your family today. Step up. Appreciate y'all, man. Rocking with me. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Hope y'all have the rest of a good Sunday. I'm going to do my very best to have the rest of a good Sunday. And just think about what I just said, man, in these closing minutes of this live stream. Step up. Ordinary people becoming extraordinary through effort and attitude. This is an effort and attitude decision, guys. I've just walked you through the steps how I'm going to be extraordinary with my effort and my attitude over these next 5 to 10 years. I walk you through it. I told you exactly what I'm doing and when I'm doing it and why I'm doing it. I plan on being extraordinary for my family over these next 5 to 10 years. I hope you do the same. I hope you do the same. Like I said, get down in the description box, click on that Moo link, get you up to 20 free stocks, send me an email through the website, www.richardfain.net. Let me know you open the Moo account. I'm going to send you some tutorial videos so you can learn how to use the app, so you can get on your extraordinary journey. Also, check out the website, grab them digital products, consider joining the Wealth Builder Mentorship Club through my website. Hit the membership button, hit the join button, join these wealth builders and myself, fastest growing financial community on Patreon. Wrap yourself around some people that are going in the same direction you're going in. Get yourself around people that are already where you want to be. That's the key, guys. All 850 of them over there are extraordinary in their efforts and their attitude. and they're doing so for their families. Come join us. Come join us. Lock it in with a thumbs up if you don't mind. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, Monday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Be a part of this movement, man. Be a part of it. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thoughts become things. See it in your mind. Hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.